Hello, everyone. John Maddox here. We are, I guess it's actually officially Sunday. So the week ended May 31st. So the end of May is over. So this is John Maddox's update for his 800-pound deadlift, which I believe is just around the corner. So anyway, so this week, going back to Tuesday, and I just want to remind people, all right, I do have a website called communityreviews.org. Things are going to get crazy up through the election. So if you really want to know what's going on, please go over to communityreviews.org. That is my platform. And I am a citizen journalist, and I do a lot of cool stuff over there. I've teamed up with people who get direct military information, and we know what's really going on. So, but anyways, in regards to my lifting update, so this week, right, this is my first week back. So one of the things I'm trying to do by laying out these, my results that I'm getting each week is, number one, show you how to train like I do, where you're regularly taking time off, all right, and you're, setting up your either 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Like I said, I'm hitting weights pretty intensely, and I'm lifting pretty significant weights. And so actually 3 weeks is pretty much all I can get through without having to take a week off. If you're doing this and you're using 4 weeks, great. All right. Or if you're on a 10-day week, like I said, I recommend people who want to train 4 times a week, move it to the 10-day week. You're going to get way better results being on a 10-day week. I just re-listened to my my video that explains what a 10-day week is. I mean, every drug-free athlete should be on a 10-day week if you're training 4 times a week. All right. I don't understand why you wouldn't be, other than you've never heard of it before. Like I said, I heard it probably from the first time back in 1989, and we had lots of success with it. Everyone who trained with us, me and my late training partner, Craig Terry, and we broke a lot of records, won a lot of meets. I mean, I think that's why people are here, right? You want to get strong, right? You don't want to take forever. All right, I think I lay out a number of very good videos to help get people up to speed and do it how, and one of the things and I'm not saying this for all you influencers out there trying to sell your products, all right? If someone wants to support your channel by buying your products, you know what? I have nothing against that. I have nothing against you. I'm just trying to let people know it doesn't take anything special to get strong. It's just don't overtrain, all right? Go in there, hit your weights, and then go home and recuperate. What's happening is people are spending too much time in the gym. They're overtraining, and then it's like they're seeking anything that can help. They think it's some type of magic elixir that keeps them from overtraining, when it's just not overtraining in the gym by pushing yourself too much. You need to take time off. That's how your body recuperates. That is how you heal. All right. The regularly scheduling time off is, I'm telling you, when you do it, it's instinctively you're thinking, oh my God, my body's never going to remember what I did. But dude, your body has an amazing memory. All right. And that's why you have to train like I do. You have to hit it hard so that your body can actually then, move to the next stage and then recuperate, and then move to the next stage and recuperate, and you get better. If you keep beating yourself up and beating yourself up and beating yourself up, like one of the things when I listen to Mike Israetel, talking about for best results, you need to be training 4 to 6 days a week. Well, 4 to 6 days a week if you're on sauce. I mean, you have to recuperate. And if you're not taking steroids, you can't in a 7-day week be training 6 days a week. It's just, you're going to overtrain. You're going to start losing weight. So I'm here to try to help the average person to get better and get significantly better and doing significantly faster than what you would have been doing it. All right. I know there's a lot of videos out there because I'm all over YouTube. I'm all over YouTube Shorts. I just haven't figured out how to do YouTube Shorts yet. But I'm going to get a couple good videos here soon, and we're going to start posting those. And I think I'm going to start getting a lot more traction. So, like I said, I've been doing this for over 40 years. I'm very experienced. I've won a lot of meets. I just hated the equipment back in the day. I would have loved to have had a chance to really go up and do some good 3-lift meets. But now that it's raw, trust me, I'm planning on hitting the meet here. All right. And all you guys that are supposedly drug-free, like I said, my plan is to put up the biggest drug-tested total. All right. No knee wraps. I think knee wraps is cheating. So the biggest drug-tested total raw. is what I want to put up. So, and sure, like you said, you got a guy like Tony Harrison. There was a guy out in the UK. I can't think of his name. They both totaled high 1900s. So we're off. So, but the USAPL actually discriminates against me because of my fusion. So I will be doing it in the AAPF, just so you know. I love the APF. I think they out of all the powerlifting organizations, it's the most user-friendly one I've seen. I haven't had a chance to compete in some of the newer ones, which I'm hoping, to go anywhere where I can actually have access to a monolift because of my fusions. This makes it very difficult for me to squat close stance, so I have to squat wide. So I do need to have a monolift. All right, the deadlift, I can care less which bar it is. I'm not one of these super wide deadlifters. My hips doesn't have that support. So again, it doesn't matter what bar. I've never noticed a difference between a regular bar and a deadlift bar. I think it's just based on, how you're setting up and what your technique is. If you're strong, I don't think either bar is going to stop you or is going to allow you to lift substantially more weight than the other one. If I was a super wide one, then yeah, absolutely, because in USAPL you can't get super wide because the weights are closer, when you go to deadlift with the bar. But anyways, let's get into why we're here. So I just had my week off, so this is my first week back. And so in the squat, just to let you know, I still go 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates, 4 plates with a box below parallel, right? When I use my box, it is below parallel. All right, I want to make sure I know what that position is and my body can memorize that position. All right, and then I do 2 sets. I did 5 plates and 6 plates, without the box. And then I went up to 680 pounds. And 680 pounds is actually not that heavy because I've regularly used it, that or 705 for like doing some partial negatives. So my body's starting to get used to it. So I took 680 all the way down, completely under control, and put it in the pins. And so now my goal here moving forward is to just keep messing with 680. And my workout's going to be pretty similar to this going forward because I want to get 6 plates moving faster. I want to, and then what I'll do now that my body, starts to get used to 680 is I'll drop down here and maybe hit 660 for my all-time PR. So, by doing these negatives, it really shocks your body because now your body can't say that, hey, I'm used to you cycling, over 10 weeks, all right? I'm used to you doing sets of 5. When you put more weight than your body can handle, that pushes your body, all right, and challenges your body in a way that's just very difficult to understand. So very happy with my squats, very happy in how they felt. And then I went right to my lockouts, my normal lockout position. And, you got to, unfortunately, because your elbows, you don't want to injure yourself. So I want to stress this to people. Just because your legs are warmed up doesn't mean you jump to 800 in a deadlift. You still got to warm your arms up to get used to, especially after this position, right? It's pressing against your, and then now you're going to pull against those joints. So 1 plate, so I went all the way up to 7 plates, which I moved super fast. I mean, if someone was watching me in the gym, I think they would have been impressed that this old dude can actually move 7 plates that fast. But I'm probably doing 8 inches of movement. So I should say 8 inches from full movement, right? So what I do with the lockouts is I'm already squatting. There's no reason to deadlift off the floor because my legs are already worked out. So the plan is to work the mid-range where everyone gets stuck because that's where your butt pulls up. Right. And it's to work the lower back muscles in the lockout position. So in my lockouts, I actually went up and I did a lockout with 815 pounds. So if you remember the video I had, my last video, I think I attempted the 815, and this would have been 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I missed it. My butt came up and I couldn't get it off the platforms on my regular lockout position. So then I pulled those platforms out and did a lockout with it, which is a much smaller range of movement, about 1.5 inches less range of movement. So this time I was able to move it off the platforms and get it up. But what I did though, is I was looking down at the ground, not paying attention to making sure my shoulders stayed in position. So my shoulders got really low. So even though I got it as far back as I could get it, I don't know if someone would have passed it in the meet. So I like to see it a little cleaner the next time that I do it. But the fact I can move 815 after going up to 680 in a negative is still pretty impressive. So next week, I don't do any deadlifts. I'm just going to go in a squat. And so I may go a little heavier in my negative. I may just go up to 705. So I'll go 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates, 4 off the box, 5 plates, 6 plates with no box. And then I'll go right up to 705 and just do my negative with it. And then I'll do my assistant stuff. So next week, because I'm not deadlifting, I'll do my hip thrusts. I'll do my one-legged leg presses. I always do the glute ham. I think the glute ham is a great exercise. If you like leg curls, do your leg curls. Just remember, there's something called power stiff legs. It's something I think I might have invented, but you do it from mid shin. All right. And that's a great, so whether it's mid shin deadlifts or mid shin stiff legged deadlifts, right? Those two positions from the mid range position were really helping your deadlift. So, and then Friday in my bench, even though my bench felt pretty decent, no one removed the cloth that I fastened to the bench, which I was amazed. I haven't been in there in 2 weeks. And I just heard one person walk by and say, "Oh man, I really love that modification to the bench." So I guess I wasn't the only person that was sliding down this bench when they were trying to bench. And they like the fact that we taped this cloth all over the bench so that you now stick to it and you don't slide. So it was great to be able to walk in and just use what I already put down. So I only went up to so I went up to, like I did last time, it's, up to 295 in the regular press. And just my goal is to move it fast. And then I did 365 with the board. It's a 2-board, right? When I say board, it's a 2-board. It's the one that fastens to the bar. And then I went up to 395, which I took down pretty good to my chest. And then Art helped me with the lockout on it. So, and I think what I'll do the next 2 weeks is then that will be maybe 4 or 5 that I'm working with. So my goal is the most I've ever with a 2-board press is 400 pounds. And I did that in October of 22. Before the injury, I succumbed to my injury and I had to take time off to get the MRIs and all that stuff done. So like I said, I've already beat my all-time squat record. I've already beat my all-time lockout now in the deadlift. So, and like you said, I'm going to be working out here on Tuesday and it's no deadlift, but the following Tuesday, I am going to try to deadlift 800 off the floor again. Same procedure I did last time. I'm going to start it high, pull it out of the rack, bring it down to the ground, and then hopefully bring it up. But I'm not going to set up like I did last time. I'm going to do my full squat workout first. All right, going up to a negative, and then I'm going to take the 800 out. But I feel confident now that I know what it feels like, as long as I don't have any, weird. See, what happens with my hips sometimes now is I have days when it's like feels like 100%, like I could do anything, and then I got days where it still feels weird. So hopefully it will progressively keep getting better to where it feels all good all the time. But when it feels really good, man, I trust me, I feel very confident to start challenging things and doing some fun stuff. Like the day I bent rode 495 for triple, my hip felt perfect. I didn't have any fear. But when you feel that, like when I tried 800 for the first time and I started to break my knees with it, my hips, I could feel my hip a little, and that just made me feel a little cautious. So yeah, so my board was good. And then on my bent row, my hip wasn't feeling that good. So I went up to, 1 plate for 3, 2 plates for 3, 3 plates for 3, 4 plates for 3. And then what I did is I put 510 on for fun. It would be technically the most I've ever tried. But what I did is I just moved it a few inches just so my body felt it. All right. So that my body can, hopefully get accustomed to it. Because my hip didn't feel that great anyways. I didn't want to really try for it, but still get my body to have the opportunity to feel it. And then I don't know if it was the heat in the gym, but for some reason I wasn't feeling very good. And so I left. I didn't do any assistant stuff. So, I'll catch that up, when I'm training next week. But anyway, that's my update for this week. Like I said, John Maddox is still moving some decent weights. The fact that I got the 815 out of my normal lockout position to come up, I'm moving up to 680 in the squat. Everything's feeling good. I'm pretty happy with what happened this week. So anyways, that's my update for this week. We'll talk to you next week. See you later.